Ms. Julianna James is an actor, writer, and producer who studied at New York Film Academy. She is proficient in directing theatre plays. I would like to welcome you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Abeer.
Ma'am, when did you figure out that you wanted to do something in acting?
I don't think I can give you a specific answer, but I know that for the longest time, I've always loved reading. And I felt like reading is living multiple lives in this one life that I have.
Yeah.
So acting didn't seem very far off. So when I was looking at options for colleges, I came across the triple major course in Christ University that had theatre studies, English literature and psychology. And I felt that I really like literature. Psychology fascinates me.
Yeah.
Theatre seems fun. So let's just marry the three. So it made sense for me to start there. So that's when I actually got on stage and started acting. Yeah.
So you formally started acting in your college, your degree.
Yeah, I'm sure, like, growing up in an all girls school, you had to act for different, annual days and all of that. And because I was the tallest girl, I was always made to be the boy. So I played Jesus. I played on French boy who was visiting some, just really funny things. But I had to do it because I was seen as, and I had short hair and everything. So I did act then, but I didn't think that it would become a profession or a career. So when I joined college, I think it just made sense that was the way that I got into it. So I felt like acting let me give back to reading what I got from it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So you would say that acting was not your first career option?
Yeah. I didn't think that it would be my career option. I was a roller skater growing up. So that was my career. You can say that was my profession for a really long time. But eventually I had to stop. So when it came to figuring out what I wanted to do, I'd initially thought doctor because I really like helping people. And then I realized that I hate chemistry. So if I have to do science, I know that chemistry is going to be there. So I really racked my brain and I said, if I'm going to study, I have to study the things that I really want to study. So then chemistry and math were out of the picture. So I said, okay, fine, I can't be a doctor. It's okay. I'll find other ways to help people. So I got into the arts profession. So in 11th and 12th, when I had to choose subjects, I chose humanities and I chose psychology and advanced literature. So that's where it kind of...
That's where you decided you would get into arts. Yeah. So why not be a writer? You said you were interested in reading and all, right?
You're right. That's a very valid question. And I think a lot of people in my life also thought that I should be a writer. And I think there was a part of me that kind of betrayed that side. I don't know why I stopped writing. It's not that I stopped, but I always wrote just for myself. I never published anything. I never shared anything, but I always would write for theatre. So my very first venture into acting or into theatre was to write the play that my college class performed. I know that writing has always been in the back burner for me and I never brought it forward. But now things are changing for me a little bit. So my priorities are kind of shifting and I am focusing a lot more on the writing aspect of my side. But I'll never stop acting for sure, especially in the theatre. I'll never stop acting.
What did your grandmom think when you told her you would be an actor doing something in the arts?
She was not a fan. She was not a fan at all. And whenever all the relatives would call her and speak to her and they ask her how I'm doing and what I'm doing, she would always say psychology. She wasn't lying, but she would say psychology because I think that was something that she understood the most in terms of a career. She knew that I was doing theatre. She was fine, but I don't think she was able to grasp the fact that it could be a career or that it could be, feasible to be a career. So she always used psychology as the term. Unfortunately, I don't know how she'd feel about it right now. She died in 2020. No, that's okay. So I don't know how she would feel about it now. I'm sure she'd be supportive regardless of how she felt about it. But she would definitely be my champion for sure. So even when I left the country to pursue acting and studies in it further, she was very supportive. She was very upset, but she was very supportive, of course. So I know she would be supportive.
So you said you left the country to pursue arts outside. Why go abroad for film acting? Why not come over here in India itself?
Yeah, that's a good question. A lot of people have asked me that, and I think it boils down to two things. One, not a lot of film schools out here
Yeah.
in India, especially not a lot of film schools that teach you hands-on training. There are more that have come up in the last maybe 2-3 years. But this was back in 2018 when I just finished college. I came across this New York Film Academy and their syllabus. Everything was very hands-on. Everything was very practical, and I know that I wanted to study just a little bit further, and I speak multiple languages, but I'm most comfortable in English. My sentiments, I dream in English, so everything just makes sense in English. So I felt like the culture, not necessarily the culture, but at least the language-wise, I would be able to pick up a lot more from a college that's not in India, because a lot of colleges out here, they expect you to have performed in Hindi or in some local language, which I would be able to perform in, but it won't be the same as a native Kannada speaker or a native Hindi speaker. I feel like if I have a script, if I have
wouldn't be you.
it wouldn't be me. Yeah, if I have a script, it's fine. I can do a lot of voiceovers because no one's really, gauging no one's gauging my sentiments, no one's gauging my immediate reactions, right? So it made sense for me to explore Western theatre actually in the West, and subsequently do film as well.
When you say Western theatre, were you always interested in Western theatre, or is that something you picked up from college and your degree?
My training started from Western theatre, but I want to say that I have always been interested, or I think that my exposure to acting and to theatre was mostly through Western theatre. I am not very adept in Indian forms, mostly because there's a lot of dance attached to it, right? Growing up, I used to dance with, do Bharatanatyam as well, but it just never became something that I was genuinely eager to do. Yeah, you can say that I've always been interested in Western theatre, Western styles of theatre at least. I still want to tell stories fitting to the Indian crowd, but maybe in a more anglicized manner, in just in terms of language, not in terms of sentiment. We have our own culture that way. Indians who solely speak English have our own culture, So I would like to tell stories from that perspective.
So you want to show our culture in the English language, in essential. Yeah. So you are a model, you mentioned. So from acting, how did you go into modeling? How did that happen?
It wasn't a very, fixed decision. This was during COVID. I had just finished college. I had 1 year when I was in the US, I had 1 year to, extend my visa and work in the United States. But a lot of acting opportunities were not available. And booking modeling gigs, at least to pay the rent and to kind of live, it was something that just happened. I tried it out a bit when I was there, and then finally when I came back out here, I just took a chance and went for an open casting call, and that's when I got signed to my current agency. Feed Artists.
So you sort of just fell into it.
I just fell into it. I knew that it's not a very long-lasting career. It's not going, it usually doesn't, and I'm not very keen. I wasn't very keen on it anyways, but I thought that it's not too far off from acting anyways. It's just acting without voice and without vocals. So